Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Welcome back to Listen Up on this beautiful Saturday morning. As we inch closer to the draft, we kind of figured we needed to have a kind of a last check-in before the WNBA draft. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Continue the support. Like we say, as always, the support has been amazing. So please, please, please keep it up. But yeah, we have Nika Muhl and Aaliyah Edwards attending the WNBA draft in person. I think we were kind of all expecting Aaliyah Edwards to be invited to attend the draft in person, as she's projected on a lot of mock drafts to be a top 5 pick. But I must say, I was a little surprised when I saw that Nika Muhl got the invitation to attend this draft in person. But I'm so excited and happy for both of them to be able to have this experience. And both of their paths have kind of been a little different on the way to get drafted. I think for Aaliyah, over the past 2 years, her draft stock has really rose exponentially, averaging nearly a double-double for 2 seasons in a row, evolving her mid-range shot on offense, increasing her post moves, also improving on the defensive side as well. And of course, Aaliyah has been everything to UConn, and to see her evolve and play at such a high level has been very fun to watch. So I can't wait to watch her at the next level. And as for Nika Muhl, we all knew that or what she was, what she meant to UConn, her passing ability, the leadership role she developed into, the voice she has out on the court, and of course her defense every single night. But I don't think she really got to show a lot of that on the big stage until, of course, this season and their trip to the Final Four that really rose her draft stock tremendously. Everyone finally got to see how good Nika is defensively, going toe-to-toe with the best shooter the game has ever seen, Caitlin Clark, the soon-to-be #1 overall draft pick. And Nika followed her all night long, and limited her about as much as you possibly can. And I think a lot of WNBA teams noticed that. I'm so glad everybody else finally realized what all of us Husky fans already knew about Nika Muhl. So I hope both of them get to hear their name called in person. We'll both be watching. Gonna have an episode, I think, on both players Monday night after they
Yeah.
both hopefully get drafted. So yeah, I can't wait to see where everybody lands.
Yeah, you're right. We will be. Thank you for everyone for joining us on this Saturday. You said it right, Ryan. A beautiful Saturday. And actually, we did not go on yesterday. I did this, I think, to you last year. Let me pull the screen up to make sure I'm pointing the right way. Yeah. Everybody, his birthday passed. It was yesterday. So if you can, again, a year later, I'm doing the same thing. I'm raising my finger up and I'm pointing to this wonderful person beside of me. Everybody wish Ryan a happy birthday in
Thank
the
you.
comment section. And Jason D'Amico, I have some breaking news for you. Ryan is now 21. So you know what that means, Ryan. You love that number, Ryan. 21, 21. Say it with me, Ryan. How old are you now?
21.
21. So, hey, we all know what that means. I won't say anything further, but we have some WNBA action to talk about, some pre-draft action, rather. And again, them two names are Aaliyah Edwards and Nika Muhl. Before we get down into comments, I want to thank Michael Vogel, ESPN. He always does a great job breaking down draft picks or mock drafts. So I want to thank him. And hopefully, Ryan, we can reach out and try to get him on the show one of these days. A lot of guests. Hopefully, that's the way it is, Ryan. A lot of guests on this podcast in the future. I know that our subs deserve it. And again, it gives us some breathing room because it's kind of it. You would seem like during the season would be more. We would feel the nerves more, but it's actually during the off season. I don't know if you feel the same way or not. It's during the off season where you're like putting the camera on. You're like, okay, now what, Ryan? But yeah, I mean, so thanks to this mock draft from ESPN, we kind of have to focus on the second round here very quickly because now not too far down the list because in this mock, let's see if Ryan agrees with this. Seattle Storm is taking Nika Muhl, the 5'10" point guard at number 14, set in the second round. So other than that, let me read off to you very quickly, just very quickly, right, what I have in the first round for you. And again, this is according to ESPN, the mock draft. Caitlin Clark, obviously, that's an obvious pick right there, Ryan. Indiana Fever. LA Sparks, Cameron Brink, number 2. Number 3, Sky, Camila Cardozo. LA Sparks again, Rakia Jackson, number 4. Number 5, now this is interesting because you all know Ryan's team is the Dallas Wings. Ryan, are you going to smile on this one? Number 5, Dallas Wings, Aaliyah Edwards. Ooh, I know you'll be on standby alert now on Monday night with me, and you'll be blowing my phone up. Usually that's me blowing your phone up. Washington Mystics, number 6, J.C. Sheldon. Number 7, Minnesota Lynx, Isabel Borlas. Hopefully I'm saying, is it Borlas, Ryan?
I believe so, yeah.
Borlas. Sky, number 8, Sky Angel Reese, another big name. Number 9, Dallas Wings, Alyssa Pili. Number 10, the Sun, Daisha Fair. Number 11, New York Liberty, Charisma Osborne. And number 12, Atlanta Dream, Jessica Carter.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if number 2 and 3 get swapped. I think Camila Cardoso, I just believe she's a little bit of a better player than Cameron Brink. I might get some heat for that. But yeah, I don't know. I think Cardoso has a little bit more upside. But obviously, Cameron Brink did a lot for Stanford. So they're both incredible players. So wouldn't be surprised maybe if those two get swapped. The Sparks having number 2 and 4 is kind of insane. So if they get either Brink Cardoso and then get Rakia Jackson, those are two very, very good players to draft. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if 5 and 6 get swapped too. I think Dallas either takes Aaliyah Edwards or they could take J.C. Sheldon as well. So, I think for either my Dallas Wings are going to get Aaliyah Edwards or possibly your Mystics will get Aaliyah Edwards. So it's a good chance one of the two of our teams are going to draft Aaliyah. And as for Nika Muhl, I think I do agree with that. I think she definitely has the potential to get drafted in the first round. I think her talent is obviously there, but I think the most likely option is early second round, probably around 15 to 17, somewhere in that range of draft picks.
Yeah, all right. Stay right here. Ryan and I are going to make our quick prediction like we do on last check-ins all season long. We're going to predict, I don't know if I can pick a team right now, Ryan, but I'm going to try to predict where they will land as far as draft picks, what number and what round for Edwards and Nika Muhl. So stay right here after these comments. Ryan, Jason D'Amico, there is a lot of chatter on Twitter about a major player about to enter the portal. Could be a bunch of trolling, but the next few days will be interesting for sure. Ryan, we had this conversation last night, and go ahead. I know you want to say her name so bad. Boy, oh boy, would that be something special for you and I, because years ago, having her on this podcast, and now I'm hearing some rumors here and there. Oh my goodness, how times change.
Yeah, that would really be a full circle moment if indeed Reagan Beers decides to come to UConn. Yeah, I mean, I think all the players followed her on social media, so whether that means anything or not, I guess we'll find out. But I mean, there's been so many players that have entered the portal from last year and this year. There's so many players that are moving, so it's hard for me to keep track of everybody. But hopefully, UConn can land a big name, and if it is Reagan Beers, I think both of us will be jumping off the walls.
Theodore Morehouse. DeBerry is not good enough for Division One. Be honest. She was awful. Ines can play guard for someone. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know about that one sentence, Ryan. She was awful. I don't know if I would take it that far, but Yeah, it's something that I didn't bring up to you. I don't think, and I think that you may have, I don't know, but we'll say it again just for Theodore. Yes, I don't think DeBerry will land again in D1. And I do agree, Ness will stay in D1. Let's see if we're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Amari, I think as long as she finds the right team, I think she can definitely be used in a positive way. Maybe it's probably not going to be a really big name school as for Ines, but I think for both of them, if they get in the right system with the right coach and surrounded by the right environment, I think they can both really strive on a D1 team. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Oh man, Ryan. Arthur. Well, I'm not shaking my head at this. I'm just telling you. Arthur Reagan Beers, Oregon State, now available. 6'4" forward. Yes, we're well aware of her, Ryan. You and I know her and her great former high school head coach, right? Personally. So we want to shout out to them and thank them again for making that interview possible. And listen up. But this one, Alizi Defan, lots of rumors going around that AZ Fudd may be entering the transfer portal. Personally, I think it's a bunch of bull. Has Paige, as I guess she meant, as Paige is her best friend. Ryan, I can tell you this much now, and you can tell him Phil's not playing when he says this. I don't think I'm going to come on another episode with you if AZ Fudd enters the portal.
Well, I think along with all of the craziness happening, everybody entering the portal, I think there's also so many rumors that go around, so you really don't know what to believe sometimes. If players are really entering or
Yeah.
not. I don't think there's any way that AZ Fudd would would enter the portal. I think it's kind of the same way with you mentioned Paige and AZ being kind of best friends and entering the same time. I think if or Asia a year after, but kind of the bond they've created. And I think Paige and Azy both really haven't played that many games together, even though they've been playing together on the same team for I guess 3 years now. So I think Paige's decision to come back, I think a little bit of it might have been to play with AZ Fudd, and I don't see how AZ could really leave UConn. I think she's hopefully she gets healthy for next season. I definitely think she'll be back in the starting lineup.
Uh, in the last video, Ryan, it looks like this. You hit it on the mark. This person agreed with you 100%. They say I agree at 100% with the statement. Jean and DC constantly brought up her lack of effort when it came to practice. Gino has always believed that your attention and effort on the practice court will amplified in a game. You heard Gino say after she did well in a game, he says rather, she doesn't bring that type of energy at practice. And I'm not too sure. This comes on the Ness Betancourt video. I wish I could tell you, Ryan. It's either he's talking about Betancourt or DeBerry.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of obvious that I think ever since Gino's probably came here, he's really emphasized practice, and I think a lot of coaches coach differently, but I think practice really is what obviously prepares you for the game. So I know Gino definitely takes it pretty seriously. And I think that I think that goes into the trust factor. So if Amari wasn't going 100% in practice, that's probably why she wasn't getting as many minutes, and probably the effort wasn't there on the court in real time as well if you're not putting in the work at practice.
All right, Ryan. The past gave us experience and made us wiser. Understand, Ryan, on Listen Up, right? So that we can create a beautiful and brighter future. That's what's going to happen Monday night, Ryan. When I join you, we will be on full standby alert, and a brighter future is ahead. Every young lady that hears their name called on Monday night, that future will just get brighter and the stars will shine a lot more brighter right here on Listen Up.